G'day, welcome to session 71 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. And today, we're going to keep working on our steam turbine. Now I realize that with the setup I've done here, I've actually not created any piping for this liquid pump. I've just created the sensoring. So, start addressing some more things. I'm still amazed at how much liquid I've got running down here. That's a different thing, but I mean, at least I've got it. It's like a system that at least is pooling to somewhere eventually. Maybe we'll dig out that section there just to encourage it to continue to run down that hill. I suppose that slime coming out might help that run down too, but I don't necessarily want the slime, so let's just take out that one spot. Okay, so liquid pump here. Plumbing. Don't think it necessarily needs insulated pipe. Because it's going to be pretty warm water that it's moving to another pretty warm location. So let's go straight up. And we'll go straight across there. Liquid bridge pointing that way. Pipe across and we'll just stop it there. Go liquid vent. Should be enough. Okay, now thank you for those that commented and on the things that I am now into. So I guess the first thing I need to do is continue to fix this. We'll deconstruct those two things. And we will say copy that guy, put him there. And we will copy that guy and put him there. And we will wait for that to go and we'll say deconstruct, which I'm sure was a brief moment of disaster. As long as everyone else here knows that know what the logic is of if there's a detachment that they actually won't use these. But I'll stay focused on this just because I am getting rid of that. We want to make sure that we do have this sort of corrected. Still the security door, that's the only problem there. Telescope's idle. Let's go for that one. Settings of those two and check them on there. Right, and we copy that guy again, put him there. Now that does mean that there is a heap of suits that can be taken out to go this way. Yeah, obviously the only complaint at the moment is they've got no checkpoint, but it should now be corrected. So let's go power into that one. We can deconstruct that one cable there. We then need to look at our ventilation. Basically, we just extend this off. Now, at the moment, this is going to be pretty bad. This ventilation setup. It's basically at the mercy of the oxygen being corrected in all other aspects of the world. Like I said, as long as this guy here and this guy here were still accepting oxygen, we're going to be sort of running a pretty bad backlog. But you can see that this guy here is getting close to finished. And he's almost just going to stop there. So that's good. And I guess as soon as that does stop, it means that there will be more oxygen that will be going for this guy, for that guy. Although I'm not even sure that actually matters too much because they're not the ones that are worrying about this. That one is actually just going basically straight to this with a 50% share out to that one. So there is a chance that that one will block off, but that could be a while. But that's okay. Uh, deliver suits. I'm not sure if I actually do have enough suits for all of these. Does that one have a suit? I actually like... I think I'm just pulling suits from one to the other, so... let's try and remember how we build suits. That was that thing I moved a while ago, right? This guy... Rails duplicate flight. Suppose we don't need to go to that extreme level, so let's just go for this, and we will go 5 suits just so that we have excess. Okay. Now, next question. Alright, that guy needs power. Guys use conductive wiring, so let's give him conductive wiring as well. Next comment was to do with this. Someone pointed out that this is my beautiful pristine 20-degree water, and this is 60-degree water up here, so reconsider just dumping it straight onto my primary water source. And the one thing that I think with that is that as a steam vent, that surely this is going to be a very slow process. That initially there will be a huge dump of 60-degree water that I'd be putting in here, but over time it would be much more of a trickle. So the significance of that heat might not be there. There's definitely just problems in trying to move this thing over in this initial stage because there is so much water up there. I think there's more water than this could possibly take. Alright, so let's do that and finish off insulating that wall. Something we were doing as well. I do still have the note to focus more on cooling down the base. And there was the question, what am I going to do with the water from the steam turbine? Now, is that something that I've actually got? Yes. Okay, so there's the answer. So water from the steam turbine comes out, goes across, and just dumps into this same large, already hot pool. Actually, still isn't that hot. I suppose there must be a lot of it coming from melting ice still. Just granite there. That's not actually going to get rid of itself, so maybe I've just got to ask for that to be dug. They're going to have to hop down onto that and then drop down and get back up, I suppose. This is a huge tank, though, that... maybe I need to rip up that wall as well. Let's just say buildings. I don't think there's anything under there, but I've learnt my lesson enough times. That'll just give that little extra square of space for that to go into, so I'll take it. Sufficient resources, lime. So what's our lime looking like down here? Still have orders of lime going. Let's bump it back up to 99. Go to 6 priority. It's all fertilization related happiness. Is that just to do with the amount of people available to do work? If that's the case, maybe I do need to get more people into working here. So we'll keep an eye out for anyone It looks in the realm of okay. Because what I would like to do is similar to meat, is chuck them into that system to get warmed up. So they just say current status empty. They don't actually complain about not having a suit. I think that maybe we are okay for the amount of suits we've got, but I don't mind making the extras. The problem that I currently have is availability of oxygen, that they actually are taking suits that have oxygen in them. Probably the true concern here. It looks like that this guy's now maxed out. That guy there's maxed out. They're doing okay. I'm always amazed when these ones go. I forget people actually do head north. I'm not sure what anyone would be doing if they're heading out that way. If there's anything left to do in that direction. So, I mean, if we look at the amount of squares that is, we'll go around sort of 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 by 6. So, it's a 36 squares. This is 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't know, 20, 3 by 20. So, that'd be like 60. So this would be 1/3 of no, about 50% of that. It would be 1/3 of the total if all of it was added together. Which would mean if you put 60-degree water, 100% 20-degree water with 50% 60-degree water, it would go up to what, like 40, around 40 something, I would imagine. No filter selected, so that filter's based off the same thing as this, so we can say that. That's copper ore, so let's cancel that build. And instead, let's do a vent made of iron. See, I'm still going with this. Does seem like steel is just the constant push at the moment. This is so much water. We really look forward to just getting that into a system somewhere. We want to get more water into this system as well. That's coming down and grabbing that, which isn't too bad in terms of accessibility. But did I cut off my pipes here? Let's have a look at where the plumbing runs. Yeah, so I appropriated the piping by oil. So maybe that's actually the easiest one to get to. And I've got the power and the thing. I've just got a ladder, basically just straight down here. Okay, now the other comment was the size of this guy. I 5 times 15, the size that I heard. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can shift that out as well. What I want to do then is get rid of this chlorine. Anyone need chlorine? I think the only thing that needed chlorine was that room there. So needed it. And pipes blocked. Maybe one of my frantic disconnects. I've disconnected that guy. Let's go back to plumbing. Poor guy has been sitting there with thousands of liters of water for this. There we go. Quite warm water in there. Which does suggest to me that it's... I mean, that's the room temperature though, so it's room temperature water, 30 degrees. Still 35 in here, but I mean, that's a room temperature outside as well. On this side. Okay. What we want to do as a task is we want to clear this area. So we don't want to get rid of that dirt there because we want this to sort of stay on that side. So what we will do, we will say, build a ladder. Got oxygen masks in this area, which should be sufficient. Because there's plants in that room there. We're just going to say build a ladder straight down from there. Way down there. Uproot that guy. Alright, we do have this guy pumping away. The idea will be that when he goes green, the water should be underneath the door's height. So opening the door shouldn't allow water to spill out, in theory. It also is low because if this is going to be creating steam, and I assume that might actually also steam the water that it's sitting in, then that can go up, and if someone does open the door, then the steam in the room is hopefully further up than where that door is. See how this works. But I also possibly should just put a lock on that door. Not allow anyone to enter it. Really creative, that one. Don't want that either. 5 science isn't bad, but you have plenty you don't like. Project all for now. We have a lot of fertilization demand in the food. Is that just because I don't have the... What are they... I remember that someone asked recently what they need. I don't want the water, I want the plants. Dirt. I've got 15 tons of dirt. So I've got to assume that that's got to do with availability of people, not... and priority of the task. I mean, I can see that mate was doing some just there. We do have still plenty of food. I guess that's something that we've got to keep aware of. Still plenty of water coming down this way. Like it's dripping off the ice up here. Wait till this is... I think I'll wait till the light's green. See what happens here. Not enough steam temperature below 125 degrees. Alright, before those guys run out of room, let's get this sorted. So let's go deconstruct all 1, 2. Then we will go wood pipe down, pump here, pipe into that. That's actually wrong. I'm going to cancel that because we want that at the lowest point in this room. Down there. Then plumbing into that. Then we want wiring. Currently using gold. Iron ore. That. Now I won't rescue that Deku. Aku, because he's not long for this world anyway. Now, let me make sure that I want to disable disinfectant on a lot of these. Something that someone pointed out a while ago is that they don't need to be disinfecting stuff in an area where everything is, where everyone has to wear suits anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's just make sure that I've got as many things disabled out here, especially if I'm running out of people's availability for jobs. Let's not waste time cleaning germs off things that are wholeheartedly fine to be germy. Let's dig out those. Don't have anything. Lower guys. I hope these are all old enough that I've done that in a previous work through. So much natural gas down here. And I suppose what we should do, let's just do a little bit of digging here. So let's say dig out that and dig out that. Let's try and get some more of this liquid in here. Also dig through that hole there and get this to run into this as well. Problem is this setup here, I don't know. I'm not sure if I even necessarily need it. I will keep it going though, because I've got plenty of polluted water spots around still. Aku's there he is. Sorry, so I was thinking, what if I got into this area here, dug this deeper, and then tried to move sort of, or even just sort of cut this way and came in here. got into here, came across here, so that only this amount of water could drop down in. So it's sort of like take it in sections. Dig for it. There'll be no harm in doing it. Like setting it up. Alright, we're getting there with the water. I will wait till that's totally submerged. I'm getting too antsy. I want to see what this looks like. Nah, let's do it now. So let's say enable building. Still get a fair bit. I've got to keep an eye on this crude oil and make sure I block it off before it starts running over the top. But hopefully should still be a while. I suppose that's one of the things that's taken a while now too, is people have got to run all over the place to collect supply, like resources, because they're just further and further away where the closest anything good is. Alright, well that's doing some nice work to add a little bit extra to this pool. I don't remember why I asked you to dig all that out, but have at it. Guys, there's a request to go turn on this. Anyone, priority. Okay, let's slow things down. $28. The water in that room is 27 degrees. Temperature outside, it's 24 to 20. No power. We kill the power. We had someone working on that at the same time, and now the idea should be that eventually they'll have enough power because the turbine will also be operating as well as the this guy down here, the petroleum generator. It doesn't look like anything's happening immediately, so let's... It's definitely staying a bit cooler this time. Right, so currently his water doesn't go anywhere as well, I think. So let's pause for a second and have a look at what we've currently got set up for that plumbing. I think this pipe was for the most part already full. So we have that skipping. And what I can do is I can put that straight in, but the issue I had last time was I didn't want these guys to be doing it if they don't have to. At the moment I feel like they have to until we've got that connection in place. It's just if I could disable that. There's a way that I could just say, like, stop this block from operating. Let's say I can disable the disinfect on it, but actually I have to ask it to be deconstructed, I think. And in fact, there's a whole bunch of things in this section that I can also just to disable the disinfect. Who's making a mess? Have we got people stuck? Alright, what have you done? Can't get across. Okay. Let's dig out those three. Let's make these... Where are you headed? Oh, you've just gone straight back to a task. Okay. Soiled pants or no soiled pants, you've got a job to do. And let's that to be mopped up. I just don't know with that bridge there, it's a pretty easy reconstruction. Like it's not having to rebuild the routing of the cabling at all. Now, the other thing I do want to do if I'm my way up there is actually correctly block off. Now, that room there doesn't matter too much if there ends up being liquid in it. Do is just give a bit of wall to try and stop the water from going anywhere else except straight down. Okay, so that pipe's been built. Let's have a look at the plumbing. Okay, so that's not going to move until, I guess, there's a free... Because it's going to take percentage small parts of the polluted water. It's not going to take the clean water that's sitting in that pipe. So, let's say deconstruct that. Let's give it a 9 priority just so we can get it done. So we can have a look at how this thing's operating before... I have to carry this over to another one. So what we want to see is first we want to see this working correctly, which will be as soon as that's gone, we should then have the clean water in this pipe. Great. Yeah, it's moving along. And possibly as well the speed that that's moving at might keep this guy from operating at the consistent speed that we possibly would like him to. Let's have a look actually at... Just wonder if I'm maybe going about this the wrong way. But what should happen is that there should be a water sieve here that this travels through to get into here first, so it's sieved before, because this is otherwise just going to be so constantly backed up at the mercy of how fast the water sieve's going to take water in. But then if I put it at the other end, it's going to be at the mercy of how fast that water sieve's going to take water out. Does that mean that I actually need the this going into another pool that is then pumping on? The thing is that the water in here isn't actually that hot anyway. Well, it's more for the setup of this system. I mean, the answer would kind of be that it needs to go into here, but I need the polluted water in there for those guys. Be look in here anyway. I just realized that I've actually successfully gotten rid of all that out the top here, and it's now just the carbon dioxide in that bottom bit. I mean, successfully is a loose term of the use of the word there. What I should do is dig up, try and get that chlorine north. We say go 1, 2, 3, 4. Say this way. And get some chlorine going that way. And then what I might have to do is sort of do my walling just slowly up. Just try and push all the carbon dioxide back up into this room and then close this section off. All the way. It's going to be a lot of digging. And we can actually just start with the first layers of that. Have to dig up all these plants. Alright, so I guess that brings us to the end of another one. I don't want to vol. Science is quite good. You decrease bathroom use speed. Ruby. Cut of your jib, Ruby. Coming in. Okay, so Ruby, what was your athletics is 0? Great. I have room with your name on it. Alright, well, I think that's the end of this one. I've got to remember that one thing I'm doing is trying to dig all of this out for prospering, sort of working up. Which I don't want one there yet. So what I've just got to do is just probably put in a few squares to say this is what you're trying to do here. Find myself. I suppose the questions that I now have here is this I'm okay with. I'm happy to sort of work this down in a little bit. Just put some 60-degree water in with my 20-degree water. I think it's fine. I think the room temperature of this room, as it currently stands, is okay to cope with that. The question I have is I don't think that the way that I've got this routing at the moment is correct, because this is going to keep stopping this pipe, and I don't think this guy's going to make anywhere near enough steam to actually get this going. I really want us to see him start wearing away. So, do I need to make another pond? Or do I just have him cycle this back into here and then have a separate sort of water sieve that's pulling water from that out? I mean, it would sort of just mean that the general heat of the water is going down. I don't mind that idea. The general heat of this water will be going down as this guy's cooling it, because he's going to be pumping stuff through it faster than the sieve's going to be asking for water. And I mean, and colder water sits on the bottom, I guess, maybe. So possibly if I've got a pump that's job is to just then take over this comes back around and goes over here, just connects him back to this tubing. Actually, don't mind that. Actually, let's quickly set it up. I want to wait to see if that works. So let's pause. So if we go liquid pipe, this guy pumps into there, correct. We say deconstruct that. Oh, we want someone else to take that. So let's say deconstruct that. Then want insulated pipe to run up. So that we can just go straight up. Say we get insulated pipe to run straight up. Into that. That'll take it back into there. Then we put another pump here. Take the power wire, run him across there. And I mean, it also does mean, though, that these guys are possibly more likely just going to be cycling through the cold water as opposed to the hot water. But I think there's too much I can do about it. And then we take the plumbing, go insulated from here, across to there, across to there, bridge that's going in that direction. On 3-speed here, let's see if we can get this done. Let's tell someone to disable that as well. Although I'm pessimistic about how quickly they'll get through this. Now again, what this will cause is downtime on water getting pumped through here. Hopefully it's quick enough that... But I mean, you can see this water is still moving through this pipe. As long as it is, it means that this guy is still sort of going to operate. We have a little bit of time to work with here. But Turner is over the moon. You're doing a great job, Turner. Alright, let's just throw some priority on some of the stuff that's going to take longer to build just so that they actually get moving on it. Not necessarily you, Turner, it was more everyone else around you that I was asking to get on it. Guess let's just drop a 9 on everything while we're waiting. It is funny that the hot water coming out of the steam turbine and the cold water coming out of the Aquanator are just going to be combined in that tube. And again, possibly depending on how much water's coming out of that turbine, that could also cause this to jam. See how that goes. Guys, we're so close. This is a priority job because we don't want this guy to run out. It's getting very close. I'm gonna have to call emergency on these. Cancel everything. Got time to do the lead, but not time to get going. Garnelli. Perfect. Now someone, top priority, turn that thing on. Here we go. Alright, let's see how we function now. So this guy's pumping water. Like our steam turbine. Oh no, that was just the load thing kicking into gear at the top. Okay, so let's see this temperature go. It's saying like, what, 20 degrees Celsius? So not too bad. How are we doing heat-wise? So holding at 31 degrees at the moment. There's liquids going every which way in this build now. But that's still moving pretty well. This guy's had a baby, so let's now feel guilty about that until the next episode. And that's looking good so far. The outside world doesn't seem too impacted by it. I wonder how long it takes for Steam to start really kicking in there. Okay, so now it's starting to suffer because it is even sharing with this guy. So that's something that we'll have to address next time. But we will call it there to see that it is sort of operating without sort of getting excessively hot. I guess the water is doing a really good job in there. Anyway, any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.